Come on in, come on, come on. This is your walking music. And skip. Good morning, everyone, and happy Mother's Day. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Mothers Everywhere and really mothering in all its forms. Today's a special day to celebrate that connection. Mothers and those that mother, you are blessed. In a women's group I was part of for many years, when we would sit in circle, we would always introduce ourselves as our name and then our maternal lineage. So this morning I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Reverend Deborah. I am the daughter of Judy, the granddaughter of Grace, the granddaughter of Fayetta, and the mother of Rhea and Kristen. It is a delight to be with you this morning here at Emerson Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are a community that values the inherent worth and dignity of each and every person. No one is outside of that. No one is outside of love. In this space, we honor many paths of spiritual and moral discovery that you may encounter in your life. And we honor whatever journey your life has taken you to get here and wherever it will take you from here. And we affirm that there is an interconnected life, an interconnected force that resides among us. Some may call it the heat in this room that we're now all feeling. Just so you, as I'm sweating up here, we did turn the temp down, so hopefully it's going to cool down. I'm watching fans go on. Maybe we can have the back doors even open to have for some air circulation. But in addition to the heat, there is this interconnected thing. Some do call it God, some call it divinity or prana or just life force, and some just call it this energy of love that exists in and around us. However you define it, we take time here each Sunday to hear its voice, to be in its presence, and to feel that connection, to remember that we are not alone. So we welcome you into this space. And a special welcome, anybody joining us for the very first time. We hope that you're nourished in heart and mind here in our worship, and that you find this to be a place you can truly relax and take a breath from your busy weeks. We do have a special day planned today. We get to celebrate some of our children. Today we have our child dedication ritual. If you have not seen this before, it's really a beautiful ritual to welcome children into our community. But first, I'm wondering, Douglas, would you light our chalice? Or maybe you and a helper, I don't know.
Because I believe that all world would be better if we set it to music, today's chalice lighting comes from a lyric to a song called The Greatest Love of All, the lyric by Linda Creed. I believe that children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. And let the children's laughter remind us of how we used to be.
Beautiful, thank you. And now in the spirit of beloved community, I invite you to take a moment to turn and greet those in the room with you. Those of you online, feel free to unmute and say hello. And we always like to begin our Sunday mornings with our affirmation, which is we need not think alike to love alike. Please feel free to move around the room. In case you were busy talking to others and you missed it, I got to be the choir director for a minute. And that was fun. I don't know what I was doing, but thank you. And I did forget to mention, so maybe you want to do this at coffee hour, well, coffee 20 minutes, that you introduce yourself by your maternal line, too. It's a really powerful practice to really name those ancestors that are with us. Well, this morning I have the pleasure to greet two new Emersonian staff members. One person you're going to know well, the other person you're definitely going to want to come to know well. They are both beautiful, and we are so thrilled to have them. First, let's give a warm Emerson welcome to our new Director of Family Ministries. Drum roll, please. Michael Lukens. I have a few things to say. Michael joins us with many years of experience working with children and youth of all ages in a religious setting, and even sometimes in the classroom. He has been very instrumental in keeping things going here as a volunteer during the transition, and for that we are so, so grateful. We have lost an awesome volunteer, but we gain a director of family ministry. Michael, would you like to say a word or two?
Thank you very much. First, I would like to say thank you to everybody who has said so many kind words and sent so many wonderful messages. Just like when I started here last year, you have all been so welcoming, and I'm so grateful for the home that I found. And I am so looking forward to working with the greatest thing since sliced bread, Reverend Deborah. So thank you.
Little payoff there. Thank you, Michael. And I do want to acknowledge before you leave the stage, Michael, to really say thank you to, we had a wonderful search committee that worked very hard for many months, and I know some of them are not here this morning, but if you are, please stand. It's Elizabeth Thomas and Eva Cronin and Millie Fuller, Michelle Jo Kay, and Ginger White. I think all those people are on vacation. That's how hard it was, but thank you. You indeed are better than sliced bread, my friend. And there's more. This week, we also get to welcome our new office administrator. So please give a warm Emerson welcome to Emily Vinson. I had a moment there. So Emily joins us after, with many years of administrative experience and a really strong interest in Unitarian Universalist values and really learning more about us here. So welcome, Emily. Would you like to say a word?
Hi, everyone I've met so far has been so welcoming. I'm so grateful to be here, and I can't wait to meet everyone that I haven't been able to meet yet. So please come introduce yourself if we haven't been able to say hi yet. So thank you.
Thank you, Emily. And fear not, our dear Sarah Drew will be here for another 3 whole weeks. So we will get to be with Sarah, but also Sarah's a member, so she's just going to be here for forever. So we changed one, right? So we lose a staff but gain a volunteer, right, Sarah? Oh, yeah. Michael will show you how to do that. All right, let's move on. Now, I want to welcome Richie Jarrett. Where is Richie Jarrett? Richie Jarrett, could you please come? Richie Jarrett, I'm going to welcome you to our pulpit. He's going to introduce our Share the Basket partner for this month. It's the Must Summer Lunch Program. So, Richie, would you tell us more about that?
Well, good morning, Emerson. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Deborah and to Mary. Anytime someone allows me to have a couple of minutes of their service, I consider that very important because I know this is an important time for you. But I am from Must Ministries, and starting in about 2 weeks, Must is going to start its most challenging and toughest project of the year. And when I tell you about Must, we're just one cog in the wheel that I'm fixing to tell you about, and that's what we call summer lunch. We will start feeding 6,300 children for 9 weeks when school is out. You ask why summer lunch is because we know that those 6,300 children, and we think there's probably close to 15,000, will not have food when school is out. So in Cobb County alone, there's 107,000 students enrolled in Cobb County schools. 40,000 are on free or reduced lunch. 20,000 are what we call transient. They'll move multiple times during the school year due to economic situations. And there's 2,000 students that will wind up completely and totally homeless this school year. So for the next 9 weeks, along with church partners such as yourself, we will feed 6,300 kids meals. We'll be delivering to their locations from extended stays to apartment complexes. So we certainly appreciate all that Emerson is doing and willing to help us do this to make sure that children are fed during the year because it's very sad. And next year, our goal is to be at 12,000. So thank you for all you do. Thank you for giving me a couple of minutes to share Must Ministries. And I think I'm going to hang around after the service and answer any questions you may have. So thank you very much.
I'm Mary Miller, and I'm on the Social Justice Leadership Team. Just a reminder, what we're gathering today is for purchasing the food for summer lunch. In June, we're going to pick a day to assemble. We hope to have some of the youth participate in that. Must also provides books for the kids, and we are gathering gently used children's books to donate to the program. There is a box near the Must barrel in the front of the church, the narthex. And we encourage people to bring books and put in there. And remember, Must feeds younger siblings too, so 1 all the way up to 17. So, and Richie will be in room 103 after the service to talk about all of the services Must provides. Thank you.
Thank you for your generosity and support. Look forward to seeing all of you making some lunches in June. That's going to be fun. This is our time in our service where we pause to light our candles of joy, sorrows, and concerns and share with each other what may be happening in our lives. Susan Allman, would you be our candle lighter this morning? Susan is a member of our pastoral care team and is available with a very loving heart and I know very good ears if you are ever in need. Every Sunday we do have our chalice, our candles of care table, and you're welcome to come and light a candle for someone you're holding in your heart. It's a nice way just to have that quiet moment in the morning to acknowledge them. We also start by lighting our 3 candles. These are our collective joys, sorrows, and concerns, and we light them in honor of the Cherokee and Muskogee nations of people, recognizing that we are on their ancestral land. We also light a candle in recognition that on this land, in and around here, humans were enslaved. And we dedicate ourselves to not let any of those things happen again. And we hold a candle for our collective joys, because we all have those as well. So may joy be the underlying thing that holds us all. In our book this morning, I see several joys, so let's start with the joys. Susan Allman has offered a joy. She says, "It was a joy yesterday to work with Ed Cosper, Christy Ogle, and Art Wickman to clear vegetation at the Memorial Garden site to prepare for our construction to come." Awesome. If you haven't gotten a chance to see that, it's out back. Thank you. A joy from Barb Collier. Am I pronouncing your name right, Collier? Collier? Barb says it has been a joy to sing with Kathy this awesome choir. Thank you, Emerson, UUC, for your support for getting on Cobb EMC board. Oh, ballot. Have you won yet? Okay, not yet. It's coming. I'm visualizing. Ed Cosper would like to offer us a joy, sorrow, and concern. Ed has only, this is true, joy, sorrow, and concern. Ed has only 9 more days of driving a school bus for this year. I think that's for this year, right? And yeah, for this year. I am ready for a break, but I'll miss the kids. And a little prompt, he's got a service coming up, I forget the date, in June called School Bus Ministry or something of that, so definitely don't miss that. That'll be good. And we have a very special joy and introduction. Today we would like to introduce Emily Hausman, who is the new daughter of Christy and Pat Hausman. The adoption went through a week ago, so let's say yay to them. Yay. A very happy Mother's Day to you, Christy, and a happy Child's Day to you, Emily. And we know there's probably some more joy, sorrows, and concerns that haven't been spoken. So if you are holding someone in your heart today, please take a moment and say their name out loud so we can just bring them into this room of care with us. Taking a moment to feel those names in your heart, sending love to those you know and those you do not. We often share on our Sunday mornings the Buddhist prayer of loving kindness, so I'll invite you to repeat the words after me. May we all be filled with loving kindness. May we all be free from harm and suffering. May we all be well in body, heart, and mind. And may we all be at peace. May it be so, and thank you. We're going to sing a little bit now. I'm going to invite you to rise in body or spirit. Our opening hymn this morning is called We Laugh, We Cry. We are only going to sing verses 1 and verses 2. If you like a hymnal, it is the gray hymnal. 354 is the number. Please rise as you are able.
Just to have some time.
Catholicism indeed believes every child is born in goodness. A child comes to us out of the mystery, each unique and precious. And we believe, though each child's life unfolds in its own way, it is their family and their congregational community who have the responsibility to support and nurture, by example, guide their spiritual lives.
Today, we dedicate several children, welcoming them into our community and blessing the life that lies before them. The dedication that is offered today is the dedication of parents and our collective congregation to the child. Together, we commit to support and nurture them wherever their path takes them. The great Unitarian Sophia Lyons-Faz wrote, "Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, and a time for worshiping."
Would these parents please bring your children or child and come forward? Lindsay Tomic with Ollie and Annabelle, and Trin and Eric Barron with Harley, and Catherine and James Johns with Jay and Helen and little Liam. So we're going to have you stand right along. Yeah, you can stand right where you are. If you want to come over. And how about if parents, if you can stand behind your children, because they're going to be the focus of this little thing. Yeah. Yeah, parents, if you want to stand up, that's good. Wonderful. Oh, they're so beautiful. Parents, you have the primary responsibility for raising your children. Today, however, you bring them to us in acknowledgement that these children are not merely your own, but are part of a larger community. As family members and friends of this congregation, we all share the privilege of nurturing these children, guiding them, teaching them, and loving them as they grow. We ask all who are willing to enter into this covenant with these children today.
Parents, the life of a child is both an awesome responsibility and a wonderful gift. And so we ask you, do you, the parents of these children, pledge your loyalty and love as you nurture them into adulthood? And do you vow to raise your children with an awareness of their interconnectedness with all of life, honoring the inherent worth and dignity of each and every person? If so, please say, "We do."
A little louder. We do. Okay. Just want to be sure. We also have other family members of these children with us today, so please, if you're a family member of one of these children, I invite you to stand as you are able. Thank you. Families, you are charged to guide and support these children in all matters of the Spirit and to be there when their parents' wisdom may need a little support. Do you, families, vow to guide these children in ways of love and compassion, to teach them to live not only for their own good, but for the good of others? If so, please say, "We do." We do. Awesome.
Would everyone, including our children and youth, please rise now. For years to come, these young lives will be part of our community of mutual care and concern. Will you now welcome them into our congregation and pledge that by your example and your participation here, that you will help create a community in which they can grow in stature and in faith? If so, please say, "We do."
We do. Awesome. Thank you. You may be seated. Now let us bless these children. Children, by blessing you, we are celebrating the wonder of your birth, the sacredness of your life, and the universal love that has always and will always be with you. You are part of the natural world, and so we bless you with nature's elements. These elements will surround you in one form or another wherever you go in life. And with this act of blessing, we pray that throughout your days, you will know your life as sacred and interconnected to to all. We begin with water. We bless you with this water. May you always find your thirst quenched. May your tears be cared for. May you dance in the rain and jump in many puddles. You are water. And we now bless you with fire. May it remind you of the divine spark of all creation that is in you. May it inspire your commitment for love and justice. May you be kept warm by the community around you. May all your days be bright. You are fire. And we bless you with air. May your lungs be full of fresh, sweet air. May you find your voice through song, whispers, and shrieks of laughter. May you have a life full of scents, breezes, and sighs. You, my children, are air. And we bless you with this earth from our land. May this blessing of earth help you feel grounded and strong in this world. May you be blessed with muddy toes and knees and dirt-filled clothing each day as a remembrance of the earth's love for you, as well as your parents' love for you. You are earth.
Sorry, I got to catch up. And we bless you and bless your life with the spirit of love as we honor you by name. So we use the rose as a symbol of eternal love and goodness. We have removed the thorns from these roses, but we know that we cannot always remove the thorns of life for our children. We pray that when you encounter thorns of any kind, you remember you have a community of support. All right, ready? All right, Harley Lynette Barron.
Harley, may your feet stand against injustice. May the work of your hands be generous. May your thoughts be wise. May your lips speak with kindness. May your heart know and give love abundantly. And may you joyously embrace the mystery all the days of your life. You are blessed, my dear.
James Philip Johns third, excuse me, sorry.
Jay, may your feet stand for justice. May the work of your hands be generous. May your thoughts be wise. May your lips speak with kindness. May your heart know and give love abundantly. And may you joyously be filled with the mystery all the days of your life. You are blessed. Would you like to hold the flower? No, Mom.
Helen Rebecca Johns.
Helen. You want the flower? Let me bless you first. May your feet stand against injustice. Oh, you hold that one. You hold that one. May the work of your hands be generous. May your thoughts be wise. May your lips speak with kindness. May your heart know and give love abundantly. And may you joyously be surrounded in the mystery all the days of your life. That's for you, my dear.
Liam Alexander Johns.
Liam, may your feet stand for justice when you're able. May the work of your hands always be generous. May your thoughts be wise. May your lips speak with kindness. May your heart give and receive love generously. And may you be surrounded by the joyous mystery all the days of your life. Yeah.
Annabelle Catherine Tomick.
Annabelle, May your feet stand for justice. May the work of your hands be generous. May your thoughts be wise. May your lips speak with kindness. May your heart give and receive love abundantly. And may you be joyously filled with the mystery of life all the days of your life. You are blessed.
Ollie Mason Tomic.
Ali, may your feet stand for justice. May the work of your hands be generous. May your thoughts be wise. May your lips speak with kindness. May your heart give and receive love abundantly. And may you be filled with the mystery and the joy all the days of your life. Thank you. You are blessed.
Children, we are joyful that you are here and want you to know that through all of your life, the loving spirit of this congregation and our wider faith will be with you. Friends, it is with great joy that we present to you these beautiful children and families, a blessing to us all.
Whoop, whoop. Oops, I think I accidentally. Thank you. Awesome. You may be seated and leave your rose petals along the way.
Do you want me to take the younger ones out now?
Oh, yes. Anyone who would like to go out to playtime, young or old, Michael will lead you the way. If everybody leaves, we're coming after you. And as our children make their transition, let's rise in body or spirit and sing another hymn. This one is 1051. It's in the Teal hymnal. It's called We Are. Such a joyous day. We are indeed our grandmother's prayers our grandfathers dreaming. The world we are creating is a continuation of their dreams, just as those that come behind us may fulfill some of our visions for the world left unrealized. Now, of course, given the state of things these days, it would not be unfair for us to worry that our ancestors' dreams instead have turned into their nightmares, yes? And in fact, we may feel guilty at times, like maybe we are messing it up. Anybody ever have that feeling? Why are we not closer to creating a world of peace and harmony, of love and justice, of environmental care? For surely those were the things that they dreamed of. They were the things they dedicated their lives to create for us. Now, to dedicate comes from that Latin meaning to consecrate or proclaim or to affirm, to set apart. The giving of oneself for some purpose. Now, for me, the word sometimes conjures up visions of Olympic athletes and world-class musicians laboring away for long hours in little studios or empty gyms, foregoing other pleasures in life, all for their one-pointed dedication to their craft. And who doesn't like a good story of someone whose dedication helped them break through barriers to create masterpieces, right? Well, today, in honor of our collective dedication to our values and the dedication of a mother's love, I'm going to offer two stories. Now, these are not stories of big achievements or incredible acts of mastery. And maybe because they are not, they will bore you a little. But then again, maybe because they are not, you may just see some of yourself in them. The first story I want to recount to you took place last Sunday afternoon when about a dozen of us gathered outside Marietta Square in a dedication to creating a world where all are welcome and all are seen. A few weeks ago, I had received a call from a person named Darlene. Darlene was a member of Pilgrimage United Church of Christ here in Marietta. They called to invite us Emersonians to join them for a march for trans visibility in Marietta Square. I quickly said that I was sure that some of us would be there. The march was to support all trans and non-binary people and was specifically to honor the lives of two trans women, Ashley Burton and Rashida Williams, both Black transgender women who were shot and killed recently in separate shootings in Southwest Atlanta. Now, I will confess, as the day and hour approached for our march, I was nervous. Last week was another week of mass shootings in this country, and I was aware that we live in a state where people are allowed to carry handguns in most public spaces without background checks or permit requirements or training whatsoever. And I'm aware that there is no community in this country immune from the potential of an assault-style rifle being used to extract harm. And I was aware that even when the background checks were done prior to gun purchases, the potential owners are never asked the important questions about their biases, about misplaced anger or ignorance, questions about their capacity to understand the inherent worth and dignity of all humans. I think that's the background check that should happen for gun ownership. Amen? But these are not required. So this was all on my mind as I got in the car and began to drive to the square last Sunday. I got close and I saw a sign advertising a music festival in the square. I didn't know that was going to be there, and I didn't know that there was going to be such a crowd, so I panicked a little. What kind of music, I wondered, and who would be attracted to it? Would there be a huge crowd of intoxicated people ready for a cultural war? I imagined. I took a breath and found parking. Anne, Maria, and I were the first to arrive and walk to the meeting location a few blocks from the square. Darlene, the person who organized the march, arrived soon after us. And for a moment, it was just the four of us and a large stack of signs declaring the dignity of trans lives and safety for trans kids and love for all people. I could tell we were all a little curious about how this was going to go, maybe a little nervous too, but no one talked about that. Slowly, others arrived, and with each person's presence, I could sense us all breathing a little bit more deeply. Safety in numbers, I'm sure we were all thinking. And finally, there was about a dozen of us in total. Now, as we stood there before heading to the square, something unexpected started to happen. Even before we began to march, people who were walking by began to say things like, "I love your signs. I agree." Someone even wanted to take our photo. After an opening prayer and blessing, we started to march. I decided to be in the rear so I could scan the scene, hoping to keep us safe, still not sure about what we would encounter, still ready to duck and cover if needed. As we made our way around the square, past all the vendor booths and people hanging out in the park, music coming from the stage, our tensions began to melt. And I have to tell you, I was blown away by the number of positive remarks that we got. People, all kinds of people, thanked us for doing what we were doing that day, or said that they agreed with what our signs proclaimed, or they just gave us a little smile. And absolutely no one, not one single person we encountered, countered us with anger or violence or disapproval or even a sneer. It wasn't until the very end, when we all got together, that I shared with the group the level of apprehension I had had that day. No surprise, almost everyone else said they had felt the same. But after our little march, we also shared other feelings of satisfaction and connection, a feeling that what we do matters, a sense of deep dedication to continue to show up even when it feels scary to do so. Even when it may seem like not a huge gesture, it was just a march around the square of a dozen people. Even when it will not immediately change the total landscape of the issue, I do not think the legislature ran into session to change some laws. But I'd like to think that our dedication to just showing up for each other that day helped just a little, reminded others just a little of the power of love and inclusion. And the next time, I believe it will help a little more, and the next time a little more, and the next time a little more. I think there's a misconception about dedication sometimes. Yes, large gestures and constant focus can signify dedication, and they are important too. But sometimes it's also the small ways we commit over and over that make the difference. To be dedicated to justice means showing up over and over and over and over because it matters. This is true in our justice work, just as it's true in our parenting, isn't it? Now, sometimes I'm hard on myself as a mother. I don't know about you moms. Anybody? Just a wee bit hard on yourself once in a while? I want to be a good mother. I want to show my dedication to my children. I want my girls to know I am there for them no matter what. Now, when they were little, I went for the big gestures, the perfect birthday parties, the special gifts, the custom decorated bedrooms, which would be changed every 2 years. So when she was into fish, like we painted like the seascape, but then when she went to the forest, she didn't want to lose the dolphin, so I painted a frame around the dolphin, so it looked like there was a picture of a dolphin hanging in the forest. I could go on, but I won't. Parents understand. But maybe those weren't the most important parts. Our second story has been spread without attribution, and so like motherhood, the author will not get credit here today where credit is due. It's called the Daffodil Principle. It's written by the perspective of a mother, and I did take a few liberties to make a few changes. So here's the story. Several times my daughter had telephoned me to say, "Mother, you must come see the daffodils before they are over." I wanted to go, but it was a 2-hour drive. But finally I agreed. "I will come next Tuesday," I said. So next Tuesday dawned, cold and rainy. Still, I had promised, and reluctantly I drove there. When I finally walked into my daughter's house, I was welcomed by the joyous sounds of happy children, and I delightfully hugged and greeted my grandchildren. "Forget the daffodils," I said. "The road is invisible, and these clouds and fog. Let's just stay in today." But my daughter smiled calmly and said, "But this is important." So we drove. After about 20 minutes, we turned into a small gravel road, and I saw a small church. On the far side of the church, I saw a hand-lettered sign with an arrow that read, "Daffodil Garden." We got out of the car, each took a child's hand, and started down the path. As we turned a corner, I looked up and gasped. Before me lay the most glorious sight. It looked as though someone had taken a great vat of gold and poured it all over the mountain peak and its surrounding slopes. The flowers were painted in majestic swirling patterns, great ribbons and swaths of deep orange, creamy white, lemon yellow, salmon pink, and saffron. Each different colored variety was planted in large groups so that it swirled and flowed like its own river, its own unique hue. There were 5 acres of flowers. "Who did this?" I asked. "Just one woman," my daughter answered. "She lives on the property. That's her home," she said, pointing to a well-kept small home, sitting in the midst of all that glory. So we walked up to the house, and on the patio we saw a poster. "Answer to the questions I know you are asking," was the headline. The first answer was a simple one, 50,000 bulbs, it read. The second answer was, "One bulb at a time, by one woman, 2 hands, 2 feet, and 1 brain." And the third answer was, "Began in 1958. For me, that moment was a life-changing experience. I thought of this woman whom I had never met, who more than 40 years before, the story was written a while ago, who had more than 40 years before had begun one bulb at a time to bring her vision of beauty and joy to an obscure mountainside. Planting one bulb at a time, year after year, this unknown woman had forever changed the world in which she lived. One day at a time, she had created something of extraordinary magnificence and beauty and inspiration. It makes me sad in a way, I admit it to my daughter. What might I have accomplished if I had thought of a wonderful goal 35 or 40 years ago and had dedicated myself to it? One bulb at a time, through all those years. Just think, what might I have been able to achieve? My daughter got quiet for a moment as she stood by my side. And then she slowly turned toward me and gently took my face into her hands. Looking with a kind of love I had not seen for a long time, she looked me in the eyes and said, "You did, Mom. 35 years ago, you did dedicate yourself." I'm gonna cry. "One bulb at a time." And then gesturing to herself, she said, and I think the garden is turning out pretty good indeed. And she took my hand, and her young daughter took hers, and we just stood there looking at all those daffodils for a while longer. We may not always know the full extent of the impact of what we do, but when we dedicate ourselves to the big vision and one bulb at a time move toward it, whether that's making signs, showing up for marches, wiping butts, making dinner, holding hands, deep listening, one day we will turn around and realize that our little acts of dedication made all the difference, and our heart will remain full of the prayers and dreams of our ancestors and the ones that we pass on. So may you all cherish the things that you are dedicated to, especially the love from your mother. Choir, it's your turn. Deborah up for a special announcement today. Are you here?
Pretty good for almost 75. I'd just like to take a moment to share something. About a year or so ago, I was walking through the halls on about a Thursday afternoon, and I passed by Marsha Watts. She said she was going to be volunteering to help out in the office with some extra tasks. And I said, well, if ever you have some extra time, we got all these books around Emerson. You might look, is there a way that we can organize them or something? Well, folks, today I'd like to ask you to join in the celebration of the grand opening of the Emerson Unitarian Universalist Library in room 124. Marsha, her team, Jenny, Marsha Watts, stand up, Marsha, let everybody see your face. Jenny Haynes, stand up. Sharon Saxton and David Paddock, okay? These folks did the quiet work while nobody knew what was going on. But I gotta tell you, if you go in that library, it is a world-class church library that nobody else can do. Can you believe you will be able to sit in your home with a phone or an iPad and go through and find the books in that library and say, where is it? I want to check it out. That is fabulous. So guys, after service today, for light refreshments, join us in the library and just take a look around and take a look at the books that support not only our UU values, but our Emerson mission. So I'm excited about the library.
We hope you've been nourished in heart and mind by our worship today. If you'd like more information about Unitarian Universalism or about Emerson, please stop by our welcome table in the front entry. Please plan to join us next week as we celebrate our graduating seniors, inviting them to walk across the bridge to their new lives as young adults. Reverend Deborah will deliver the reflection, The Road Less Traveled. And then Leslie McLean is going to help me with our chalice extinguishing. Thank you for that. Yes, you are, but that's okay. As our chalice is extinguished this morning, please join in the final words. They're posted in the chat and in the order of service. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world until we are together again. Please join us for refreshments and fellowship in our room in the fellowship hall in the back, and go out that door, please, so that you don't mess up the kitchen. Those of you online...
You sound like my mom.
I know, but I hear Millie playing in my head. Those of you online, please stay tuned and you'll be able to go to virtual breakout rooms for fellowship time. At 11:20, we actually offer religious exploration for youth, children, and adults. And please see the order of service for today's offerings and locations.
Were you going to say we're actually on time when you looked at your clock?
I was going to say that, but we're not.
But we're not, okay. And I invite you, as you introduce yourself and meet new people today at Fellowship, to take up my offer to introduce yourself by your maternal line. Gentlemen, do that as well. So, hello, my name is, and my mother and my grandparents, my grandmothers, if you would like. Go now in peace and take peace wherever you go. Hit it, Bruce.